Hi guys, my name is Rohit and I have been working in the data science and AI field from last 10 years. And let me tell you the way in which data science projects work, it's completely different than the traditional software engineering projects. So there are unique challenges which you are going to face in the industry when you work on the data science projects. So let me share all those challenges with you in today's video. Let's get started. So when you start working as a data scientist in any company, one of the challenges that you would face is identifying the right kind of business problem which can be solved using machine learning. Because in the industry, it's not going to happen that the stakeholders would come to you with a single CSV file and say that, okay, this is the file, these are the features, and this is the variable that you have to predict. Now build a machine learning model. This is not going to happen. You have to speak with a lot of people, lot of stakeholders to understand their business problems, and you have to decide which business problem can be solved using machine learning and data science. And one of the challenge that you would face in this area is lot of your senior stakeholders like the directors and MDs, they won't be aware of data science. They won't be aware of which type of problem can be solved using data science. So you would get bombarded with the random problems which they want you to solve using data science. And you have to communicate with them. You have to convince them in a right way that which of these problems is suitable for data science. The second challenge that you would face is you have to make sure as a data science team that any problem that you are solving is worth solving. So what is the business value if you solve that problem using data science? So calculating that business value is also a lot of challenge. The next challenge that you would face is getting access to the right kind of data. So in the big organizations, let me tell you, it is not easy to find out all the data sources which are relevant for your project. And the second thing is to get access to all those data sources. So you would have to go through a lot of approvals to get access to those data sources. The third challenge is SME support. So if you are, let's say, building a machine learning model for predicting a loan default, okay, in industry, okay, not on the Kaggle dataset. Now over there, first of all, your project would be successful only if you have complete support from the subject matter experts who are currently doing manual work of loan approvals. You need their support. Without their support, you won't be able to deliver successfully. And this is one of the major challenge. So you have to get them on board. You have to communicate with them. You have to get understanding of how they are doing it currently. And this is where another challenge would come up. The next challenge that I have seen when you work as a data scientist is not getting the right computing environment. Because in most of the companies, you would see that most of the data scientists, they are still working on their laptops when it comes down to building machine learning models. And when you want to work on really huge data set and when you want to apply complex models like neural networks, or let's say a complex clustering algorithm like agglomerative clustering, which is really intensive on memory right, as well as the execution speed. So on those kind of algorithms, you would face challenges with the computing environment. So not getting the right computing environment is again one of the challenge which is faced by data scientists in the industry. Now the industry is still getting matured. So if you compare it with the software engineering industry, versus the data science industry is still new. So you would see that this industry is still getting matured. So the computing environment problem you would definitely face, and this would create challenge when you want to try different kind of machine learning models. So your experimentation would become slow because you are taking a lot of time in just running one machine learning model on a huge data set. The next challenge that you would face would be the feature identification. Because to identify the right kind of features on your dataset or on your problem, you have to understand that domain inside out. So you have to put a lot of efforts in understanding the domain and processes in that company, and only then you would be able to understand the right kind of features. And this is another challenge that you would face on industrial projects when you work as a data scientist. The next challenge that you would face is deploying your machine learning models. So deploying the machine learning models in the industry is not that straightforward. You have to take a lot of approvals. First of all, you have to convince your stakeholders that the model that you are building is giving the right kind of results. Because I have seen the cases where, let's say, even if your model is having 85% accuracy, right, on a balanced classes, even then the stakeholder might come and say that there is a 15% error in your model. So we are not going to approve your model for the productionization. So those kind of challenges would also come. So you have to convince the stakeholder that how with the 85% accuracy, this model can still deliver a lot of business value. So those kind of unique challenges are also there in data science projects, because people who have traditional software engineering mindset in the leadership, they would think 15% error means 15% bug. this is not the case. But you have to convince them why this is happening, and why even with the 85% accuracy, this model is still going to create a lot of business value. Now, when it comes down to the productionization, I have seen that in many companies, still there is no standardization. So you might not get the right kind of environment, right kind of a cloud platform to productionize your model. And you might get some limited resources for that. That is again another challenge that you face as a data scientist. So in nutshell, these are the challenges which I have seen are the common challenges when you work as a data scientist. And specifically when you start your career, when you're a junior data scientist or having just 0 to 2 years of experience, one common challenge which is there now, this is mainly common in the startups which don't have established data science team, is you won't have like a senior people to work with. So in that time frame, you definitely need some senior data scientists to work with who would guide you on different projects. But if you're working in a startup and you are a first hire and you have never been a data scientist before, then you would also face challenge of not getting the right kind of guidance. So this would also happen. So these are the different challenges which you can face when you work as a data scientist in the industry. So be prepared for these challenges. And let me tell you, with these challenges, you would also get a lot of learnings. So if you learn how to tackle these challenges, how to handle these challenges over time, you would get better and better in your role as a data scientist. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.